Mini skirt on, dip my body in glitter. Platform sneakers, all the boys want a picture. Two foreign cars, I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with ya. Mini skirt on, dip my body
Hello. You are now tuned into the A Little Bit a Lot podcast. I'm your host, Kristen, and welcome to another week. Oh my gosh. This week is such an exciting week. We have a lot of things to talk about. We've got Ice Spice and Cleotrapa beef, which I'm gagged. I'm like, what's going on with that? We've got Beyoncé on GQ. And more importantly, we've got the fact that I have been nominated for my very first award, a podcasting award. Like, oh no, like I am so geeked. Like, I'm geeked, I'm gagged, I'm gooped. So let's get straight into it. I gotta tell you guys all of the information. I have been so excited to share this news with you guys. Like, OMG. But before we get into it, you already know the drill. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Go ahead and click that subscribe button, like this video, and comment below to let me know what are your thoughts on the topics today, whether it comes to Beyoncé or Cleotrapa and Ice Spice, because girl, it's crazy. And also, I want to acknowledge the fact that we hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, guys. The fact that there are over 500 members of the A Little Bit a Lot podcast community is seriously taking me clean out. Thank you so much. Like, the fact that it's been, again, a little over a year and I've already hit 500 subs is like amazing. Like, I can't believe that, like, I really have the possibility of hitting 1K on this channel. And that is so incredible. Like, thank you. And of course, if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, rate that 5 stars and leave a review to let me know what you think about the show. We got to get those reviews up, babes, so that way other people can hear about the show and we could be one big community. You feel me? So yes, when it comes to the award that I've been nominated let me go ahead and start off with that, because that is literally the most exciting news. I cannot believe this. I have my notes here just to make sure that I read everything out and give you guys all the information that you need. I have been nominated for a award from the Black Podcasting Awards, and there's actually 2 awards that I've nominated for, 2 different categories. First is Podcast of the Year, and second is Podcaster of the Year. Like, what? Holy? Like, I'm sorry. It's really, really hard for me to articulate how this makes me feel, other than like grateful, thankful, excited. Like, this is literally incredible. Like, let alone, like, any category is great, of course. Like, any category that you can be nominated for when it comes to a podcasting award is amazing. But Podcast of the Year and Podcaster of the Year is taking me clean out, guys. And I also want to let you know that the Podcaster of the Year is a VIP vote, according to the email that I received from the staff at the Black Podcasting Awards. So with the VIP voters, they basically are 3 categories of people. The Black Podcasting Award nominees, judges, and other volunteers, all of the Afro and audio speakers and staff, and members of the Black Podcasters Association. So those are the 3 different categories of people that are eligible to vote for the Podcaster of the Year. So I just want to say now, if you happen to be a VIP person who's eligible to vote for Podcaster of the Year and you're listening, please do your girl a huge favor and vote for me. I'm not sure if the Podcast of the Year is an audience vote or not, but I'll be sure to let you guys know in a pinned comment on YouTube or on Instagram and TikTok. So if you're not following me on Instagram and TikTok at A Little Bit a Lot podcast, make sure you do that, so that way you're staying up to date with everything that's going on with this award situation. And again, to all of the people who are eligible to vote, please, please, please do me a huge favor and go ahead and vote for that. I really think that this is a award that I feel like is deserving in my opinion. Not to like gas myself up, but it's like obviously you want to pitch yourself, you know? And I feel like this show, I want it to be bigger than me because there's so many different things that I feel like I still need to go, you know, deeper into when it comes to the talks about like life of being a plus size girl, you know, different aspects of being a black woman, mental health, you know, and being a black person of color and dealing with mental health and the stigmas that come with that in the black community. And then more importantly, like pop culture. There's just a big variety of different things that I feel like I've already offered and will continue to offer in the future with this show. So if that sounds like something that you want to support, go ahead and support it. Because as I mentioned in my year episode where I talked about all the different topics that I've covered, it's like we talk about self-care, we talk about, you know, the importance of journaling, we talk about hurry sickness, but then we also get into the gags and do different things like Am I the Assholes and play different games. We've had so many different guests, from recently the CEO and co-founder of Cosmology, which is a black owned and founded hair care company that makes hair tools for women of color specifically. It's all hair types, but especially people with type 4 hair to detangle their hair. And being able to collaborate with different people and businesses or content creation that are making an impact on positively on the black community is important to me, and that's something that I really want to continue to dive deeper into in the future of the show. Like I just feel like the possibilities are like limitless. So thank you. Like I am so appreciative for this award, and I feel like it feels good to be recognized, like I said, for these two categories specifically, because to me these categories are so big. I feel like it's almost like podcaster of the year and podcast of the year feel like as if you're winning like album of the year at the Grammys. You know what I mean? Like that type of category. Or it feels like winning video of the year at the VMAs. Like those are, you know, the biggest categories that I feel like people come to see when it comes to award shows like that, especially a podcast award, you know, and the big two, podcast of the year, podcaster of the year. Like that's just incredible. And I feel like another note that I want to let you guys know is like what gags me the most about being nominated is the fact that there are other people that are really, really cool and awesome nominated as well. Like shout out to all of the other nominees. You know what I mean? It's not just about me at the end of the day. Like this is the bigger message of highlighting and uplifting black podcasters, because I feel like there can never be enough of us who are using our voices to be able to talk about different things that can positively affect the community. And I feel like I said, all of the different shows that are nominated are so cool, but we've also got some like heavy hitters, guys. Like there are some heavy hitters nominated, and the fact that like I'm in this same like realm for this year's award show with them is crazy. Because first of all, we've got Oprah. Let that sit. We've got Oprah. She's nominated for several categories this year for her show Super Soul. There's also a ESPN show that's been nominated. You've also got sports podcasts like Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco. They're nominated this year. There's also a podcast for Issa Rae's show called Rap Shit. She has a podcast for that, and that's nominated for an award. So to me, it's an honor to even be in the same award season, like I said, as these bigger brands, especially after given the fact that it's only been a year for me podcasting. Like that is incredible. And I feel like it makes me feel like this is what I'm really supposed to be doing, you know, like I'm doing a good job. Like I'm glad that I took a chance on this podcasting lane. And, you know, at the end of the day, like it's having, you know, your own internal validation is obviously important when it comes to anything that you do, but having the validation from different places like this, you know, which I consider like a prestigious award for people of color, is just like so incredible. So that was just gagging me. Like Oprah, Issa Rae, like, are you serious right now? Like, out of all of these people that are nominated for different categories, like, you chose me to be nominated for Podcast of the Year and Podcaster of the Year. Like, that's taking me clean the frack out, boots. Like, guys, I don't even know. I just don't even know. But I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been along with me for this ride. Like, it's been incredible. And here's to many more. Like, I'm just hoping that, like, when it comes to these awards, like, your girl just, like, keeps taking these nominations and hopefully I get this win. But even if I don't, it's just an honor to be nominated, like, for real. So if there are any ways that you guys can vote, I will make sure that I let you guys know. And like I said, keep you up to date on the community tab on my YouTube at A Little Bit of Loud Podcast, and the same thing with my TikTok and Instagram. Especially, like, if you want to know, like, more day-to-day things that are going on or updates, so make sure that you follow me on Instagram and keep up with my Instagram stories, because I have a lot of things that I share and stuff like that. Different, like, heads up that I give you guys, or like little exclusives and stuff like that as well. So yeah, I also wanted to make sure that we talked about the Ice Spice and Cleotrapa situation, because girl, like, it's been getting crazy. It's been getting literally wild on TikTok. Everybody and their mom has had a think piece. So I'm pretty sure you've already heard about it, but I felt like I wanted to, be able to cover it on the podcast for any people that don't know what's going on. And especially given the fact that I literally had a episode not too long ago where I was talking about Ice Spice and how I love her music, just for the fact that it's, like, fun. You're able to just, like, take a break from, like, all of the serious rappers and just, like, not think too much. Like, I love that her music is just not too serious, and she just seems to enjoy, like, making the type of music that she makes, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. And I stand behind my opinion on that. Like, I personally love to turn up to her music. But one thing I can't support is, like, the integrity and, like, character of who you are as a person. And I think that's why it's really important for us to continue to separate the art from the artist. Like, at the end of the day, like I always say, and I'm going to say it again, like, we are on a floating rock and we don't really know these people. So it's like, if the time spent on this world is, limited, like, I'm going to listen to the music that I want to listen to. And as long as they're not, like, some type of, like, a murderer, like, I'm okay with that. So yeah, like, I don't agree with any of the things that Cleotrapa is alleging that Ice Spice did to her. But at the end of the day, like, I'm still going to listen to the music. Like, how could I lose if I'm already chose? Like, and she feeling hot that I make a bitch feel and I get a bitch, I did bitch that I post. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, I love Bikini Bottom. Like, and one thing I feel like is just so funny is that, like, somehow I just always end up standing, like, problematic people. Like, I be here literally for the music, and then I find out later that, like, oh, this person's racist, or this person did this person did that. And it's like, dang, bro, like, can a girl catch a break? Like, can anybody I stand be a good person? Like, what's the tea? But at the end of the day, like, I'm not about to sit up here and, like, lose sleep over the fact that I listen to this person's music. It's music, okay? But when it comes to the Cleotrapa situation, if you guys don't know, I've known about Cleo for a long time. She's a artist and she's also a content creator. And let's be real, like, we all knew Cleo before we knew Ice Spice. I can say a majority of people can say that. And I wanted to make sure that I had my notes so that way I can, keep track of everything, because her video, I think, was like almost an hour long with every part, because she did like a several part series where she talked about what happened between her and Ice Spice on this tour. But if we're taking it back to, like, how I've known her before all of this, like I said, it's because she's had, like, several different viral videos. One of them that we love, where she was like, let's get the bill per.
That was too good. Let's get the bill per. Here you go. Thank you.
Like, that video was so funny. And yeah, she has, like, lots of viral moments. And a few months ago, she dropped a song called Rockstar, which I love. And it has a sample by Hannah Montana. So it's like, I already knew about this song. And now that everything's been going on between her and Ice Spice, people are finding out about it, which I'm glad. But it's like, girl, like, I already been on that. Like, no tea, no shade, but, like, y'all need to catch up. because like I've been on Cleotrapa. Like I love that song. So I'm just glad that she's getting the streams and the recognition that she deserves, because a lot of people are like, oh my God, like she's really actually good. She's really talented. Like she can really rap. And I love that. And especially when it comes to like Love a Black Woman from Infinity to Infinity, when it comes to my dark skinned girls, my chocolate girls, like I'm already going to stand 10 toes behind that. So it's like we stand Cleotrapa in this house. So when she announced that she was going to be an opening act for Ice Spice on tour, I was really excited. And I actually went to see Ice Spice last month, and I was like, where is Cleotrapa? Like, I was surprised that she wasn't there, because I was looking forward to seeing Cleotrapa because I like her music and Cash Cobain, but Cleo and Cash weren't there, and the only opening act we had was Riot, which, if you don't know, Riot is her music producer and allegedly her boyfriend. Girl, I don't know. People been going back and forth on if Ice Spice and Riot are dating, but Cleotrapa seems to have, made it seem like they're dating. So I don't know. That's her tea. That's not my business. But yeah, I was like, what the freak? Like, why do we only have Riot? Like, where's Cleo? Where's Cash? Like, that was really annoying. And now that I know the story time of the fact that Cleo's experience on this tour was like literally a hellish nightmare, I understand why she wasn't there. Like, Cleo had to get the freck out of there. So I just have like a few different like notes on basically a gist of what she said in general. I can't cover everything, but basically she said that Ice Spice hit her up and invited her to come on tour, and she only gave her a day's notice. And she also said that allegedly Cleo could be with Ice Spice, and the Ice Spice would take care of her, but Cleo saying that that's not the case. And at the end of the day, I do believe Cleo, but like, we gotta, say allegedly, because ain't nobody trying to get sued up in here. And I feel like it was really messed up, because Cleo was saying that Ice didn't want to have her security help her carry her bags, which it's like, I'm just a girl, like, have your security help me. And then when she tried to like talk to Ice Spice about this and be like, hey, like, how come your security can't help me? She basically got defensive. And then I think that was, she said, the reason why she was treated unfairly on the tour going forward from that point. All because she tried to talk to Ice Spice from the beginning when they had their very first incident, because she was like, okay, like, that's weird. Like, you invited me in this tour. You said that you were going to, take care of me. I was going to be with you. So it's like, why aren't your people and your security like helping me take care of my bags? I think she said it was like raining outside. Plus there were fans all on her face. And then she's carrying this bag. And it's like, I think it was heavy, and she's just like, why can't they help me? And Ice Spice gave this like pathetic excuse, talking about the security's only paid a flat rate. So Cleo was like, okay, well, and then Ice Spice is like, well, I would have to pay them more. And Cleo's like, okay, well, I'll pay them more. And I think the gag is like, people don't realize that like, even though Cleo is technically the quote unquote smaller artist, like, she's got money too, she says. So she didn't say, she was like, it's not an issue for me to spend the coin and pay the security the extra money then, so they can help me out. Like, that's what's getting me about this entire situation, is like, along the way, whenever they would try to limit Cleo and her situation whenever she needed help, it's not like she wasn't able to be like, okay, well, I'll pay the money, or okay, I'll do this, or I can blah blah blah, but they wouldn't let her. So it's like, that's messed up if that's true. If she's saying that she can pay the security the extra money, but Ice Spice is saying allegedly no, then what is she supposed to do then? Like, dang. So I feel like that's like putting her in a compromising situation, and that doesn't really seem like it's fair. And then also, Cleo is saying that Ice Spice allegedly didn't want her team to cover her food expenses. She tried to get like a simple chicken salad, and they were like, Cleotrapa is not covered like for food, I guess. And they let her be hungry like basically the entire time. And there was one time where she said that they were like in like a deserted area where there wasn't like food for miles. They didn't have Uber Eats or anything like that for her to like get food delivered. And they had like a singular McDonald's, but they would have to like walk to it, and nobody wanted to like walk with her. There was a bunch of dudes around, and they were just like, no, like, that's mad far. And it's just like, okay, so we're not protecting women now? Like, what's the gag? Like, I just thought that was a little bit weird that she was saying that nobody was willing to like walk with her to the McDonald's. And so she's walking around being hungry all day. And apparently they went to a steakhouse behind her back. So it's like, girl, like, it seems like you're doing everything in your power to make me feel like hopeless. You don't want to have the security to take my bags. You don't want to cover my food. And then even when we have the opportunity to get food, you purposely leave me out of the plans when it comes to going out to eat. Like, are you serious right now? They also didn't allow Cleo to have any of her team with her. They said that it could only be her. And Cleo is saying that allegedly she was able to get an assistant for one of the stops on the tour. And she flew her out and she had an assistant for the day. And they said that her assistant could sleep in the bus with Riot because Riot had his own bus. And allegedly Riot wasn't even using his bus. He was on the bus with Ice Spice. So it's like, why not let the assistant use your bus if you're not using it? But they wouldn't let her. And it's like, okay. And then after that day, because her assistant wasn't able to sleep anywhere or anything like that, she had to fly back. So then she was back by herself again. And it's like, that's just so weird to like alienate her in that way where it's like, okay, you're not letting her use any of your staff, but then you don't even want to let her have her own team. Like, that's so strange to me. And they also didn't allow her mom to come backstage, she says. And she also had her purse in Ice Spice's room. And when she came back, the purse was sitting outside the door. And she said that someone used $700 on her card. So not only are you moving my things, but then someone is using my card and you have it just sitting outside this door at this music venue as if there aren't like hundreds of strangers and like staff on this tour backstage that could take my stuff. Like, that's crazy. So I just feel like overall this situation is shady. I feel like if Ice Spice allegedly did do these things, like, you should keep your word. If you say that you're going to take care of your friend and everything's going to be on you, then it should be on you. And then on top of that, like, you should allow her to have her staff with her and her team. Because then it's like she allegedly gets on X and Ice Spice is like, my people aren't your people. Like, they're not gonna do stuff for you. So then it's like, okay, then why'd you say I could only be by myself? Like, you're not even letting me use your people and you won't even let me have my own. So like, what's the tea? And I just feel like it's really, really sad that Cleo feels like she was isolated in this experience, especially for it to be her first tour. That's like such a traumatic experience for it to be your first tour. And especially just being like a Black woman, being alone, feeling like isolated in that way. I'm sure it was like scary and really difficult, but I'm really glad that she kept it professional and decided to just stay committed, do the few shows that she was going to do, and then afterwards try to talk to Ice Spice about it and then like take care of it afterwards. Because if she would have acted on emotion, then like she would have been the crazy Black girl and the repercussions probably wouldn't have been good for her. And it probably would have worked out in Ice Spice's favor because she feels like, well, I'm doing you a favor. And then even when Cleo tried to talk to Ice Spice about the situation, allegedly Ice Spice was just like, you're mad ungrateful. And it's like, girl, first of all, I'm doing a tour for free. Like, and I'm supposed to be grateful for the opportunity. You bringing up streaming numbers, saying that I'm helping you and this, that, and the other. And it's like, girl, I just did not really like the way that Ice Spice handled that situation with her response. Like, what? But yeah, and then we also have the situation with Beyoncé. I have not read the entire interview, but she was on the cover of GQ and she did a interview, and I saw a post on the Shade Room that I was like, oh my God, like, what is going on, Beyoncé? And there was a little tidbit where she talked about like why she hadn't done visuals for her last two albums. And Beyoncé had a quote where she said, the music needed space to breathe on its own. Sometimes a visual can be a distraction from the quality of the voice and the music. The years of hard work and detail put into an album that takes over 4 years. The music is enough. The fans from all over the world became the visual. We all got visuals on tour. We then got more visuals from my film. Okay. Like, at the end of the day, my rational brain is not going to get on Beyonce's internet and sit up here and be like, girl, you're wrong. Because at the end of the day, like, she is right. Like, I do agree. Sometimes, like, videos can be a distraction, especially if they don't help the song. You know, some people do music videos and you're like, what is this? And it almost makes it feel like it makes the song worse. But we all know, I don't think any video that Beyonce could ever do would be that case when it comes to her music. But yeah, like I do agree, like years of hard work and detail that put into an album that takes over 4 years, I could see why she feels like the music is enough. And it's like, we did get visuals on tour and we did get visuals from the film. But my problem is, like, as a Beyonce stan, it's like, dang, like, I'm still gonna feel sad about it all, because it's like, okay, it's been almost a year now that we had that film released in theaters, but it's like, why do we still not have it on DVD? I want to be able to, after a hard week of work, come home after going to the store, take my shower, kick my feet up, have a good meal, and I want to be able to watch the Renaissance film. I think I've said this before. And it's like, I feel like I'm not going to rest until Beyonce, Carter, Miss Carter, really gets it together. Because at the end of the day, it's like, I do understand where you're coming from, but as a fan, I can't help but like want to be spoiled, girl. Like, please, Beyonce, we need that mother freaking film on DVD. How many times do you expect us to rewatch Homecoming on Netflix over and over and over again? We get one Netflix special, we can watch that, but then you release a literal movie in theaters and then you don't put that on streaming or DVD? What's the tea? Even if you don't want it to stream, sell a physical DVD on your website, Amazon, something. Like, what the heck? I'm so confused. And then especially when it comes to like, not even just the movie, but it's like, it would have been nice to have like some type of visual, like even if she did just almost like a vlogs type of music video where it was just like different shots from her on tour, or just like her in a hotel room like she did with shoulder sideways, smack it in the air. We don't need this whole entire production. I feel like maybe she thinks that it's always got to be go hard or go home type teams with the music videos. But I swear, even if you did just like minimal effort and still gave us a visual and was like, okay, this is the music video, then that's it. I feel like when it came to like Nicki Minaj, for example, she dropped We Go Up before we got the Pink Friday 2 album, like as a part of like the rollout for that, to be like, okay, like I'm making music again. And the We Go Up music video wasn't like this professional like music video set. It was literally just like her posing in a hotel room, and she was like in the streets with the hood hitters and stuff. And it's like something simple, girl. Like, we're not asking for the moon, stars, and earth. Like, just give us a little something. But Beyonce's like, no, I'm gonna stand on that. When I said you are the visual baby when I was on tour, I meant that. And it's like, at the end of the day, I can almost kind of like respect it even more though, because it's like, she ain't going back on her word. She said what she said. You are the visual. You're getting this movie. Now leave me the frick alone. T. Mother ate, I fear. She really did. So it's like, you know what, Beyonce, at the end of the day, like, it's your life. It's your decisions. We got to take that. We got to take that on the chin. But would still love visuals at the end of the day, and would still love to be able to have that movie on DVD. But yes, we've also got another favorite coloring book of the week. Yes. Like I said before, I am into adult coloring books. I really feel like it's really, really, really good for your mental health. My therapist has quite literally recommended everybody that listens to my channel to get into adult coloring books, because it's really, really good to help you relax with your anxiety and depression. It really helps with, you know, having something to look forward to every day after a long day of work, to be able to get a coloring page in or two. And I have been really, really loving my coloring journey so much that, like I mentioned before, I do have a social media account now for my coloring, to be able to post like some ASMR type of videos, because I love making content that I like to watch. So I really mainly make it for me, so I can like look back at my art and like be able to just be like, oh my God, it's something so satisfying about hearing those markers on that page, or even when you don't hear the audio, just having like a relaxing background song and just like watching the page be completed is like so aesthetically pleasing to me. So I do post like different speed videos on Instagram and TikTok on my coloring account at Coloring with Kristen. And I'm also excited to announce that I now have a YouTube channel for my coloring at Coloring with Kristen. So that way I can have longer videos for my pages that I complete. So TikTok and Instagram is for like the short minute videos where I speed it up a little bit longer. But if you want the longer versions, I'm going to be posting that on YouTube. So I'm really excited. Like I said before, I really love the coloring community. Everybody is so nice and so sweet. So with this week's coloring book, I have DD Plums, and this is the coloring book of the week. Shout out to DD Plums for sending this in this gifted collab. I really, really appreciate this. Like, being able to get books from these amazing, amazing authors and people that make coloring books is like so incredible. We want to be able to support the smaller businesses out here. So I really, really appreciate that. This is the Spooky Times Cute Friends coloring book. And if you're not watching on YouTube, it's a really cute, spooky Halloween, October themed coloring book. It's got cute little ghosts, like mummies, like different things like that. And I really, really like it. So if you're watching on YouTube, I will do a flip through so that way you can see the different pages that are in here. I've already colored one page because this book is so cute. The first day I got it, I'm like, I gotta get to work. I gotta color a page. And I will be sure to feature a color with me video probably on my YouTube and then on my Instagram at A Little Bit of Lot Podcast and Coloring with Kristen. So that way you guys can see me color a page from this. So of course, I will make sure that I link everything in the description on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. So that way you guys can check out the different books that DD Plums offers. So yeah, thank you for that. But again, I'm just so excited for everything that's to come and everything that already has come with the podcast. Like, I really appreciate every single person for listening, liking, subscribing, because it has led me to now be a Black Podcasting Awards nominee, guys. Oh my God. The day that I'm posting this, the Black Podcasting Awards will be announcing the nominees. So you'll see that on Instagram, I'm sure. And like I said, I will be sure to give you guys updates if there's any way that you can vote or whatever. So I'm hoping that I win. The award show is going to be streamed on September 22nd on their YouTube channel. But even if I don't win, being a nominee among different people in different categories like Oprah and Issa Rae, it's like, that's enough for me. Gag of the century. Like, I can die happy for real, for real. So yes, that's all I got for this week, guys. Thank you so much. Like I said at the beginning of the video, make sure you give this video a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, rate that 5 stars, leave that review, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Forward cause I make rich look richer. Save your breath, baby, I'm not going home with y'all.